It's always a pleasure to get connected to my precious you. Believe me, the way you look forward to this, even I more eagerly wait for this event to come. 18th has become a day on which the only thing that is in my mind is to get connected to you. I'm so overwhelmed by the love and the warmth that you are showering on your own person, your own leader. It's a very momentous occasion to be connected with you. And you know why? Because company secretaries have got so much recognition, so much to do, so much on their plate and palette that it's high time, and it's now time that we get into all of it to make choices in the long run. Friends, I'm sure you may have read by now that company secretaries are eligible to appear before the GST authorities and also the tribunal and the appellate tribunal. Yes, friends, it's a moment to cheer, but a lot of work is yet to be done from the side of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India on this. And it is your best wishes and congratulatory messages that comes to our office gives us the fuel for more and more. The marathon is yet to complete, and I wish that one mountain after the other, whenever we move from mountain to mountain, it should be getting shifted and shifted so that we have more milestones to cover. Friends, another reason to be reminiscing success, and that is NCLT and NCLAT. You must be aware that the Government of India has notified with effect from the 1st of June 2016 that NCLAT and NCLT is functional. Friends, I'm sure you're aware that company secretaries can now appear in NCLT and of course in NCLAT too. What does it call for? Just the knowledge of company law and any other laws which may be falling in the High Court jurisdiction, the Supreme Court jurisdiction and the lower court jurisdictions would be enough? That's a question that we need to ask ourselves, and I'm forcing you as a leader, as your well-wisher, to ask within yourself. That is academic knowledge, is educational knowledge, and is the bookish knowledge enough to take you to places? Gone are the days, friends, when we could have just sat back and relaxed and say hello to each other and sent again congratulatory messages that hey, we've got this recognition and we've got that recognition and now it's time to sit back and relax. No, friends. With recognition comes more and more shouldering of responsibilities and more want of further recognitions. That's how we function, right? What I want to tell you by this is that it's now time, if not what we have done in the past, never time is too late. Just get up. Feel the pressure of work and take the pressure of all the workload on you, because workload is something which creates you, friends. And it should recreate you also. I have always felt, and I'm again saying at the cost of reputation though, that work actually gives a recognition to the person. NCLT and NCLAT has opened a plethora of opportunities. It is now on us as to how we actually grab it and we move ahead to really hold tightly those recognitions. In NCLT, NCLAT, or maybe at any of the other forums, including in your own life, in leadership skills, the best and the perfect thing that you first need to learn is to read in between the lines, to capture the spirit of the law and what is said in between the lines, and not only to learn to interpret but also to have proper vocabulary so that you can communicate well. I love to give this example. Choro, comma, mat maro. Choro, comma, mat maro would actually mean that leave the person, don't beat him. Now let me just shift the comma from choro to choro mat, comma, maro. So the sentence that now I have recreated is choro mat, comma, maro. Just imagine, with a shift of a small little comma, I have been able to change the entire sentence. The entire meaning of the sentence has become topsy-turvy with a shift of a small comma. That is the power of communication. That is the power of writing and speaking skills. And if somebody tells you that this comes automatically and this happens because of the genes that we carry, because our parents have been leaders, and because we have in our family who have been politicians and who have done very well in their own businesses, etc. Friends, let me mention that leaders are not born. Time and again we have read and we have understood that leaders are created. Leaders are made. And can you make yourself without a want to make yourself? Obviously not. The first thing that should arise in your heart, mind, and which should move your soul is the want to do it. Only the want can actually move engines, okay, can shift the entire hemisphere of this world. So have that want first. And secondly, when you have the want, you will have to shed all inhibitions. You have to shed all lethargy, and you have to shed any inferiority complex that you are suffering from, be it 1%, be it 100%, or be it whatever percentage. Any of it is going to hamper your growth. And always remember, if your eyes and heart is saying that if the other person is able to do it, why am I restricting myself by saying to myself that no, this is not for me, this is not the right time for me, and probably I can wait for it. I don't need it. Friends, God has always said, I'm totally agreeing with this, God has always said that if there is one window or one door that gets closed, another opportunity always opens up. Totally agreed. But always remember, you never know which was the opportunity which God had probably sent with a tailor-made stuff for you. How do you know that? That probably that was the choicest of opportunity that God sent from the heaven and said, hey, this is for my beloved person with the name of XYZ. How do you know that? You don't know that. Therefore, you have to be vigilant, you have to be sharp, and you will have to have that perseverance that yes, I am the beloved child of God, and it cannot be that He has not sent anything for me. Probably we are wearing the black spectacles where we are not able to see white things around. So what is it that we are trying to tell you, and what is it that I am trying to make a point is, friends, you have to change your spectacles. It's high time that you wear the red or the black spectacles and start looking around that no, the entire world is anti me and everybody has got everything, but I am the one who is just not being looked after. Friends, no. Everything and every person goes through a gestation period. Tell me one doctor, tell me one lawyer or one solicitor who from day one is earning what he is earning today, and not only earning in terms of money but also in terms of prestige and power, or maybe the goodwill that he enjoys. No, it doesn't happen from day one. Everybody, even if you see the film stars, they may be carrying big names behind them, but do you think the industry accepts them because they are a son of XYZ or a daughter of ABC? Doesn't happen that way. You know it very well because you are the generation who is endorsing whether the person is good or not, irrespective of their family title. So why is it that we should think that he is the favored one and I am not? Everybody has to go through their own share of sufferings, if you call it that way, or own share of experiences, and we all have gone through it. And it is only when you actually go through it you become a person. You are a work in progress during your struggle years, and after work in progress, only then can a product become a finished product. You may differ, friends, with me. You may write to me if you're differing with me, but believe me, if you are a work in progress for at least 3 years, that's the gestation period for our profession. Anything beyond 3 years, if that is the gestation period, then you're not doing enough for yourself. And it is not only in company secretaries, it is there in every profession, including maybe doctorate, engineering, or whatever. Okay. So give yourselves that 3 years. But if I'm talking of work in progress, I am equally meaning that during that work in progress, you have to subject yourself to the heat, the light, the pressures of life, and still say that yes, I am for it and I'm going to do it and I'm going to prove the world that nothing can stop me but me. So that's the courage that you have to show. Friends, there is a famous saying, and I'm borrowing it from a Shah Rukh Khan film, that I love that dialogue because I've kind of adopted me in my DNA. It's there that I don't recollect the name of the film, but I distinctly remember the dialogue, and that is, अगर आप कोई चीज वाकई शिद्दत से चाहते हो तो ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि वो आपको ना मिले. And let me underline the words शिद्दत. हम चाहते तो बहुत कुछ हैं दोस्त, बट वो शिद्दत में हमारी कमी रह जाती है. आप ये अपना कर देखिए, कोई चीज को मन से चाहिए और इतना चाहो कि आपकी आइडेंटिटी आप उसी में खोजने लगो. आप दिन रात एक करके कोई काम में लगन से लग के तो देखिए, आपके सामने वो रिजल्ट्स इतने अच्छे आएंगे कि आप खुद भी सोच नहीं पाओगे कि अरे ये कैसे हो गया. But somewhere we just get deterred and we get so much engaged in our daily routines, in our mobile phones, in our laptops. I don't know what we look for in that WhatsApp, or I am really at loss of words and loss of thoughts when I see my young generation, when I see my stakeholders dithering away from their main focus area. Friends, having said that, let me tell you that it is not only academics which is going to give you your identity. You have to come out only out of the academic zone. There is a famous saying that cross-training, I'm using the word and I'll explain you in few moments, that cross-training is something which makes a person. And what is this cross-training? You have to know what's happening in the sports sector. You should be knowing what's happening in the political arena. You should be enjoying some sports, some music, something which is other than academics, maybe social service also. The limited point that I'm trying to draw your attention is make yourself friends, discover yourself. William Shakespeare has always said that you know what you are, but you don't know what you can be. And if you want to discover yourself, it is not only the company law books, or it is not only the GST or NCLT which is actually going to make you discover yourself. You have to know the world around you. You have to understand that sports, music, and any such activity is actually going to give you strength. Sports reveals characters, friends. They teach you perseverance. They teach you practice. Look at the people who sing so well. Do you think it just happens by fluke or by chance that they are God gifted with a wonderful voice? No, they practice, and they practice, and it is because of that they are what they are. I was reading one. I'll tell you. This was a newspaper article about Tamanna Bhatia, and why I got attracted was because that was picked up from the film Bahubali. I'm sure Bahubali is the film which really had cut corners with all of us, and we have all seen that film because of that ecstasy and the way it was made. You know what she wrote, and I want you to lend your ears to me. She said, you may be remembering some horse riding scenes and the way she took the sword and she fought. Do you think that was done by a replica of hers? Let me tell you, friends, no. The film stars that you see, they are not the replicas performing those fight scenes. They actually do it. If you see the person is becoming fat all of a sudden and grown the hair or has that kind of a he brings that feel because he has to live that role, and that's the reason why they do it actually. Don't think that it just happens by chance. So she wrote in that article that I had to learn horse riding, which I had never done it before, and in the first few days I used to fear the horse, but gradually I put my mind into it, I put all my skills into it, and now I have controlled that horse and I'm enjoying the horse ride. You have to control your own subjects. by practice, by reading, by dedicating your precious time into it. You are my precious you, friends, and you are very precious for the institute, because not only because you have taken admission in the institute and that we derive numbers from you. No, not at all. Because we are carrying your aspirations on our shoulders, on our responsible shoulders, and we know that you have given your precious years to us. How precious is your years? You ask your parents, you ask your grandparents, how they wish that you put in your best and come out with flying colors. But are we really putting our best? They feel that out of this degree, you're not only going to support the family, but ek kutumb ki baat jab hum karte hain, you are going to support the entire generation. And seeing you, a lot of your future generations will read and study and will understand that even by investing a mere 25,000 or 18,500 in the course, you can bring wonders to your life. But why are we not thinking? Why are we in the monotony mode always? Friends, I'm trying to actually shake you, and I'm trying to tell you that life is so full of opportunities, but somewhere we just break during the gestation period. Don't break. Your leaders, anybody that you look around is probably doing well in your eyes. We all have gone through our share of fight against the odd ones. Friends, having said that, I also want to tell you and really want to tell you this, that in our society there are people who are known as, or there are situations which are known as outlier situation. Now, what is this outlier situation? This is nothing but few incidents here and there which is not very positive and which is posed in such a manner that this is what it is. This is the truth, and this is how everything functions, and this is how everything happens. Now, that's a very precarious situation, because outlier situation and people who create such outlier situations are now many. And the social media has made it worse. Friends, don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that trap. Now, let me give you an example. If you see the World Peace Index, the World Peace Index shows quite a little bit of deterioration. Now, when you actually, go deep into it, we understand that it is happening because of West Asia alone, basically. Otherwise, the rest of the world is quite peaceful and, is moving towards further peace. West Asia, Afghanistan, Pakistan and Kazakhstan and all that area, Syria. West Asia is actually, as I mentioned, has pulled down the number to such an extent that if you see the index, you feel, oh God, world is not a safe place to live in. And today we've really gone down the peace index. So outlier is West Asia. Just because of that, we are getting a picture which may not be really true in the exact sense of it. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is that in your profession, in your lives, you may get people saying that, oh, you're not doing the right thing, or you should have done this, or this does not have that opportunity, oh, ICSI probably is just not the right place to be in. I'm just giving you examples. It could be anything and anything really. But the point that I'm trying to make is, friends, don't fall into the trap. Listen to your heart. And if you really don't know what your heart is saying, go and do research. Go to the Google, do some research, talk to seniors, get connected to me. You can get connected to anybody in the council. So many people are there. So just don't fall into the trap, friends. Second, whenever you are going to meet people or you're going for an interview, always remember that you're not only showcasing yourself, you're showcasing also your institution. You're showcasing your family. You are showcasing your future you. Can you be casual? I know the answer is no. No, ma'am, we cannot be casual. But yes, we are casual. You have to take care of your dressing, you have to take care of how you speak, and you have to equally take care of your body language. Friends, time has really gone when you could have just walked in with a file in your hand and said that, sir, I know everything and anything about Companies Act. You ask section 143, you ask section 247, you ask section 417. I know each and everything with the provisos and the explanations. That's not going to help alone. People are now looking for leaders, people are now looking for solution providers, and people are looking for the positive strength of mind in their organizations, be it in practice or be it in employment. How is it that you're going to emit that? How is it that you're going to show that I have all of it, and that too probably in your 5 minutes, 7 minutes or 10 minutes of your interview? It's so difficult. Yes, it is difficult, but people break ice. People do it. So how do they do it, friends? Today you have the internet, which is full of information, which is bombarded with how you should be behaving, what is the right kind of body language that you should be having, and what is the right kind of clothes that you should be wearing. How is it that you should be talking to your interviewer? What are the questions, probable questions that you feel that your interviewer is going to ask? Friends, note down the points if you want to, but I'm putting a lot of commas and giving you a lot of points here. What are the questions that he could ask? Which is the industry, which is the company that you're going to meet? Who is the probable person who is probably going to interview you? Or which is the department that is going to interview you? What is it that you know about the company? Do you do a SWOT analysis of not only yourself, but also of that few minutes that you're going to spend in the interview? No. I've been in the interview panel of so many companies, PSUs and banks. I see people just walking in with their certificates and files, probably thinking that this is what is going to make them or mar them. It doesn't happen that way, I think, not anymore. If it was happening in the yesteryears, I'm not aware, but not anymore. So what is it that we need to do? Friends, you have to groom yourself. There is no choice at all. You have to project yourself to be a very confident and a very exuberant person. You have to say that happiness is what always keeps touching me. There is no sadness in me, because people don't want sad people, because that actually affects the work environment and also affects the energy levels of the person, and hence affecting the workplace. So therefore you have to exuberate a lot of enthusiasm out of the way you talk, etc. But can you exuberate over enthusiasm? No. So how are you going to define what is over and what is under and what is proper? That can only come when you do some research, when you do some mirror holding exercise and try to understand that what is the right way of doing things. Friends, here I must say that the way you sit, the way you ask for permission to sit, the way you drink the glass of water, or the way you pick up that candy from the table which may be offered by the interviewer, everything matters. I have been a trainer in ICSI Bank for quite a number of years, where as a trainer, I always tell them that whatever you are picking up in your plate during the lunch break or at the dinner table, and if you are with many people, actually also is being seen by the people around. How is it that we eat? What is the choice of food that we are picking up, and how is it that, what is the quantum, what is the amount? Believe me, yes, friends, I know you must be shocked by knowing this, but yes, it is being noticed, and it has always been that way. So you have to be extra cautious when you are in the public domain. Secondly, friends, never take interview very lightly, because industry is quite a small circle. It's very well knit. What happens is, if we have not behaved properly, or we have been very casual, everything travels down faster than the speed of the light or the sound. So one wrong filler that you give, it actually travels down very fast. So you have to be very careful that it's not one opportunity that you're making a mess of, but maybe a series of opportunities that would come to your doorstep but has now been holded back. If you ask me as your leader, or what is it that I invest in my life, apart from so many things which I would like to talk to you, but which maybe someday else, the first and foremost thing is invest in you. Invest in creating goodwill for you. Why is it that we just want to go for an Amir Khan film? Come may what happen, we feel that this is the film that we should not be missing. Why? He's created that image for himself, that he makes sense and he is full of quality. Just trying to draw an analogy from here. Friends, apart from that, I have been getting a lot of emails from my students that, ma'am, we don't belong to English medium school. Our speaking ability or skills may not be that bright and nice compared to a person who may be from an urban school or a semi-urban school. Friends, doesn't matter. If you really see the diaspora of the chartered accountancy, company secretary, or the cost accountancy, I'm just naming these three institutes because, you know, we are all under the Act of the Parliament and we are under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and we somewhat move with the same kind of strategy, etc. And this is honestly telling you that you will find that a lot of people come from the semi-urban, rural population. Lot of them. It's actually true. And today, if you read and study, you will understand that so many of them have risen to such levels, maybe salaries of 4 crores an annum, or maybe above that, maybe risen to positions of executive directors, the owners of companies, maybe working in the political arena. So many of them, friends, and they would be from the non-English speaking backgrounds. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you recollect, if anything that stops you from growing, it is only you. If a person can go to Mars, if a person can go to Moon and stay there and know how to tackle gravity and still survive, can't we do it on the earth? And when I mentioned about goodwill, I'm sure you must have seen that one wrong act can shatter everything that you have built up for yourself. That could be an empire, or that could be a super empire. Look at the case that has recently happened, which we read in the newspapers about Suzuki Motors. What happened? Suzuki has been a age-old company, probably not even remembering the years that has been in existence. And one wrong thing, what was it? That emission tests, you know the story. That probably they did not use the right technology, the latest technology, to check the emission fuel standards. And you know the story. The chairman had to, he actually said that I'm doing it on my own, but he stepped down as the chairman. His son also had to step down as a managing director, and they also have not taken their salaries. Apart from all this, it really brings so much of disgrace to yourself. I'm sure their minds must be reeling under pressure, and they must be thinking to themselves that what was the need to take such a risk. The point that I'm trying to make is, आप goodwill बना तो लेंगे, but उस goodwill को hold करना is equally burdensome, equally cumbersome also. And the onus nobody can take. It's something which you have earned, which you only can save it. So friends, when you see big people around, believe me, they take so much of onus on their shoulders that it's not easy to remain being called in the big list. Friends, I know that you must be now thinking that, ma'am, it's already half an hour, so it's time to bid adieu and goodbye. But I'll always keep coming back to you. I love to talk to you. It's become a medium where not only you, as I mentioned, I also look forward to get connected. Please keep writing to me at the President ID, president@icsi.edu. And one confession that I'll make to you is, you are really my precious you. And when I say, I believe each and every word of it. I take responsibility of your aspirations, and we as a team in ICSI will not leave any stone unturned to bring and add value to your lives. Thank you very much, friends. I look forward to meet you again next month. Bye-bye. Take care.